Hi, I'm Nicholas Magrino from Shoresides. Public media, community media, is essential. It's where we reflect our world through your neighbors' stories. This year, Shoresides has been challenged by Newsmat, which means every dollar you give between November 1st and December 31st will be matched dollar for dollar. It takes about $410 to produce one Shoresides story, covering our producers, the tools, and the time it takes to get it right. Help us tell the next one. Big, little, or somewhere in the middle, your support goes a long way. Visit shoresides.org. That's www.shoresides.org. And thanks for listening.
Hey, this is Ren Smith. So there's an article in Salt magazine written by a UNC professor and historian named Chris Fonville about a tree in Wilmington, North Carolina. We reached out to Chris to talk to him, but he's busy working on a book. Anyway, it's aptly all about the holiday season and how back in 1928, Wilmington was the home of the world's largest Christmas tree. It was this giant 50-foot tall, 75-foot wide live oak tree that had all sorts of history to it Chris explores in depth. The tree was estimated to be about 400 years old and remained an annual gathering place for holiday revelers, decorated with some 4,000 to 7,000 lights for about 80 years. But in 2015, it was removed by the Cape Fear Utility Authority, which owned the land it sat on. A reminder that no matter the vital role a tree plays in a community, its destiny comes down to property rights. Lately, that's turned into a distinct problem. Wilmington's tree canopy is shrinking by the thousands, creating a situation where old trees are coming down faster than new ones can grow. We went to find someone who could tell us more about that and what to do.
My name is Isabel Shepherd, and I'm the Executive Director of the Alliance for Cape Fear Trees. We are a 501c3 nonprofit started 10 years ago. In that time, we have distributed 16,000 trees. We have planted more than 3,000 trees. And our mission is to preserve, protect, and plant trees throughout the lower Cape Fear region.
Welcome to Shoresides, where we tell stories about coastal North Carolina.
Primarily, for the bulk of our history, we've focused on the planting aspect of our mission. As I came into this role 1 year ago, our advocacy committee was forming. And funny enough, I come from a background in historic preservation. So protecting and preserving irreplaceable resources was something that kind of had already been my bread and butter working for the Historic Wilmington Foundation. And everything seemed to line up that between my inclination towards preservation and our advocacy committee forming under the leadership of our Vice President, Laura McCabe, it seems that we really are diving into the realm of advocacy and preserving our natural areas, our mature trees. So what I'm excited to talk with you about today is the result of the last year's research and conversations that has all culminated into what we have called Code Canopy, which is our policy playbook, our recommendations for tree preservation and meaningful replanting.
Isabel told me that when arborists talk about tree canopies, they simply mean the leafy cover that shades the ground.
In urban forestry, tree canopy coverage is typically expressed as a percentage of how much land area is shaded by trees. And you can think of it as nature's umbrella, offering shade, shelter, and incredible environmental benefits. Here in the lower Cape Fear region, we are uniquely vulnerable to the effects of climate change. So dangerous heat days, which trees help mitigate, stormwater, flooding, hurricanes. So a healthy, widespread tree canopy plays a critical role in addressing these challenges. Trees are a green infrastructure solution for urban heat island effect. Trees reduce surface temps by 20 to 45 degrees Fahrenheit, which helps vulnerable communities think the elderly, the unhoused, children stay cooler during extreme heat and preventing heat-related illnesses and deaths. These trees also protect against flooding, and they absorb rain and storm water, which reduces runoff, erosion. It also filters that storm water to improve water quality. And tree canopy results in better air quality, reducing asthma, cardiovascular disease. It even lowers crime rates and increases students' test scores. So there are so many benefits to making sure that we see the canopy through the trees, if you'll pardon, mix of a pun.
Wilmington's tree canopy.
We think that this is especially needed as our region experiences explosive growth. The Tri-County area surged by 13% from 2020 to 2024, which places us among the fastest growing metros in the nation. So that brings opportunity, and it also brings bulldozers. Wilmington's tree canopy, which covered 48% of the city in 2016, has fallen to about 40% today, according to the city's urban forestry master plan and tree equity score data. So that's an 8-point drop, a loss of nearly 17% of our city's canopy in just 9 years. And then in unincorporated New Hanover County, more than 3,000 acres of canopy disappeared between 2014 and 2022, according to the County Tree Canopy Report. So while hurricanes like Florence played a role, obviously, development is a major driver as well. So our position is that sustainable growth must balance rooftops with treetops. And we are hoping that this guide can serve as a resource for local governments, developers, and the community at large, because when you know better, you do better.
Isabel's group realized planting alone won't help the area catch up.
Planting trees to mitigate the effects of development only goes so far, because those trees do not have the broad canopy coverage that mature trees and that old growth forests provide. You cannot plant a new old growth tree and the increased habitat, stormwater, air quality, canopy coverage, shade benefits. There's not a one-for-one comparison or replacement. So we really have to focus on the trees that we have remaining, those legacy canopies, and make sure that we are honoring those and recognizing their value. Also of note is the need for biodiversity in our tree canopy coverage. Right now, crepe myrtles, which are not native, are taking up a large percentage of our coverage. I would say over 20% in the city of Wilmington. And that really places our tree canopy in danger. You think of Dutch elm disease. Streets were lined with elms, with American elms. It was the streetscape. And then when Dutch elm disease came through, it decimated communities. So imagine if an insect or a disease were to specifically start targeting crepe myrtles, that could be the loss of a substantial portion of our tree canopy, like 1/5 or a quarter, in just a matter of a few years. And that's really hard to come back from. So biodiversity in our plantings is key. Native plantings are key. It is one reason why our mission to get trees into the hands of homeowners is really important, because those are native trees helping to support the overall ecosystem and the overall canopy.
What's happening to Cape Fear trees? They're being thinned by storms, bulldozed by builders, and too often replaced by the wrong species. Fixing that isn't just about planting more saplings. It's about making long-term plans, writing better codes, funding projects before disaster strikes. Because trees aren't just scenery, they're infrastructure. Maybe even community members. Isabel remembers what an important role they played where she grew up.
So I grew up in rural West Virginia, one stoplight town, and I could walk out of my door and I would be in the hills amid trees within, I don't even know, 3 minutes. I would find a forested area untouched. And I do think that shaped me. Being able to have natural spaces to find myself amid the trees growing up was really impactful for me. I visited West Virginia recently and saw it through a new lens after 1 year on the job. And in many ways, it was funny. It's made all the more sense why this work touches me so deeply. As you're driving through West Virginia, most of your view is trees. It's mountains rising up all around you. It's certainly not big sky country. You see very little sky and mostly trees and mostly natural areas. And so I think this job coming into this role feels in many ways like coming home to me.
This is Shoresides. Thanks for listening.
Thanks to the Alliance for Cape Fear Trees and Isabel Shepherd. Learn more about Shoresides at shoresides.org.